Channing Tatum.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Daniel.
So I just looked up Free Guy, and I'm not seeing any Channing Tatum there.
He is.
Chris Evans is on there. John Krasinski is on there.
John Krasinski's on there?
That's what it says.
It's been a while since I've watched
Dude,
it.
literally, look.
See, the issue is
Free
that
Guy, okay? Channing the Tatum.
after I watch that show, I just want to play video games. And so I be careful.
You're right. I
What, Free
apologize.
Guys?
You want to
Yeah.
play video games.
Like, every time I watch Free Guy, I just want to play...
It's a good show.
Open world video.
I do enjoy it.
I do like Free Guy.
You guys got me off topic. All right, let's see.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, so I shouldn't say anything inappropriate right now.
Well, I mean, you did just talk about February 13th being National Condoms Day.
Oh, was that on the recording too?
That is now on the recording forever.
Everyone,
No, Josh, there's no reason for you to complete any sentence after what you just said. That we are not
His cheeks literally just puffed up with hair as if though he was about to unload
he was so
something
excited
amazing.
just to ruin my day in editing this thing. So excited. Should we get started? I think we will.
We have to.
We do. Welcome, everyone, to the Twaddling Along Podcast. I am your host, Dan McBride, here with my two brothers and co-hosts, Jake
Oh, crap, you started with me? I was trying to come up with something clever.
and
Happy
Josh.
National... Oh.
Channing Tatum.
Well, yes,
And that's the extent
and
of
that's
what
the
you're
extent of what he's going to say. Channing Tatum. This week on the Twaddling Along Podcast, we are back with another trio of episodes, starting with our history episode today. And I believe, Jake, it is your choice. Is that right?
That is right.
I was going to say I sure hope so, because
I didn't prepare nothing.
I was deemed the one to do the history this month, and you guys know how much I love history.
You love it.
So much.
everyone...
It's Jake's
I
favorite.
want you to do an experiment for me, everyone who's listening. See how much Jake actually participates in every history episode.
I would like, yeah. I will have to say, like, when we do a history episode, I can definitely tell when it's not Jake's turn, because it's like Jake's like 20 minutes of silence, and then he'll say something, and then like 20 minutes of silence.
And everything I say usually is something just a random thought I had in the middle of it.
That's exactly right.
But now I'm forced to talk, and I don't want to.
Well,
But it's
to
okay.
that.
When this podcast come out, it's going to be a week of a very important event.
Ooh,
A very important holiday.
my birthday.
A holiday that is
No.
very critical.
Your birthday's next week.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. Keep going, Jake.
Wait, it's the following week? See, now I'm confused. Anyway, so this holiday is very special. We all celebrate it in our different ways. I want you to guess what this holiday is.
Groundhog's Day.
President's Day.
That was the second. That's the week after.
Oh. The Ides of March.
The
Ides of March. The Ides of March in the middle of February.
do we celebrate the Ides of March?
Yeah, I reenact it every time.
Honey, can you be Caesar? I'm going to be Brutus.
Stab, 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 stab.
Hey, to Brute. Hey, Jake, what is it?
It is February 12th, Lincoln's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
President Lincoln.
President Lincoln, man.
Crap, that's not it.
What a guy.
What a fella.
Dude, I love his beard.
And that's how we're going to approach this subject. No, more seriously, we're going to talk about Valentine's Day.
Oh, I was going to say something funny like, do you know what they say about tall hats?
What did they say, Josh?
I don't know.
They're tall.
They're tall.
Anywho, we're going to talk about Valentine's Day, the history behind Valentine's Day, the potential traditions that some people have behind Valentine's Day, and we're going to talk about why. Why do we have to celebrate Valentine's
Why
Day?
do we have to celebrate Valentine's Day?
So up first, Valentine's Day. Why do we call it Valentine's Day?
Because of Isn't there a saint? Isn't it Saint Valentine's Day technically?
It is technically Saint Valentine's Day.
Saint Valentine's
Now,
Day.
there is actually 3 different Saint Valentines.
Oh, dang.
And I don't know about you, but I've decided that we are no longer naming anyone else Valentine because all of them were killed. So,
Dang.
Were they all like early martyrs? Is that
yeah,
what
they
it
were
was?
all martyred for a variety of different reasons.
Oh,
Yeah. The one that we tend to kind of focus on a little bit more than the others, his name was St. Valentine, just as we talked about.
No way.
He was alive around 300 AD or the 3rd century AD.
Good.
I thought I heard my daughter crying, so
I
I,
did too.
stopped for a second
I think she
just
is.
to clarify something. So this is what happens when you bring your children to the studio that's your parents' basement. So anyway,
Hey, did you? I want to share something about Mr. Saint Valentine.
Tell
He's
us.
the patron saint of epilepsy.
Really?
the patron saint of
The
epilepsy.
patron saint of epilepsy.
Yep.
Did
Is
they
he the-
even know what epilepsy was back then?
That's what I want to know.
Or is it just decided like when they found out what epilepsy was? Like, you know who would be really good for this? Saint Valentine.
Valentine.
Anyway,
Saint-
well, so Saint Valentine was alive during the time of Emperor Claudius II.
Claudius.
So during this time, Emperor Claudius loved making war. And it just so happened that he, in his own way, decided that, you know who made absolutely terrible soldiers?
Christians.
Married men or men that had their mind on women.
Oh,
No, that's true.
So he noticed that for some reason, if someone was married or had their mind on a woman, they were horrible at their job. And so he made a rule banning all men of a certain age that were in the army from getting married. Valentine, I love this. So I'm getting all this from history.com.
oh, good.
So, you
Are
know,
they trying
what?
to sell us doors?
they're not trying to sell us doors, but I'm seeing a whole lot of videos about things that we used to watch when we were little.
Oh,
Modern
Josh.
marvels,
Yeah,
ancient,
yeah, man.
Love it.
all those other things. Anyway, Valentine, realizing injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret.
Ooh.
So,
What was the standard Roman marriage about? You know, we talk about marriage and like obviously the Romans got married. If Claudius is saying don't get married, but I mean they were also, you know,
Very
obviously
promiscuous.
still doing things. So what was the purpose of a Roman marriage?
I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
That's not on this history.com thing, Danny.
I apologize. Oh,
Gosh.
citizenship.
Oh,
Oh,
You had to be married to be a
you
citizen?
had to be a citizen to be married,
Oh.
and you could only have one spouse at a time.
I love that.
also
You could have one spouse, but do you know who else you could have? Tons of concubines.
Literally,
tons of
Do you know what's
anyone
funny?
else.
They actually call them concubinitas, which is a specific woman that had regular relations with a married man, but without any emotional bond of marriage.
So here's
Concubinitas.
here's what's interesting. This is from our dear friend Wikipedia. Adultery was made a crime in Rome,
Oh,
for which citizen women could be punished by divorce,
That was their punishment.
fines, and demotion in social status. Men's sexual activity was adultery only if committed with a married citizen woman.
really? So, like, if it was a slave woman or more popular at that time, unfortunately, young men.
There's definitely equality. It's fine. It's good.
Interesting.
Wow.
So going back to Mr. Valentine. Now, I should preface this by saying they're not sure if this actually happened. It's one of those things where like it's thought that this is what it is, but historians haven't found like just concrete proof that this has happened. So I think it's become more of like folklore.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Valentine eventually got found out, and then he was sent to jail.
Get wrecked.
And this is where there's a few different variety of things that happened. But one is that he was put in a nobleman's home, and he ended up healing the daughter. And he actually fell in love with the daughter and would write her letters.
Really?
Yeah. And the last letter he wrote he said something along the lines of "love your Valentine" or "from your Valentine."
Oh.
Now, I just want to point out, all those who do not know, marriage for Catholic clergymen was not banned at that point in time. That happened much later.
Yeah, the ban on clergy marriage was, I just actually was looking at it. I'm going to look it back up. Was done on the 12th century.
Yeah, so it was not a sin for...
Nearly 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
Known as clerical celibacy.
Oh, really?
The Second Lateran Council.
For some reason, I thought that came a lot earlier during that huge council they had.
Yeah, there was like early prohibitions for some of them, but it was during the Council of Carthage, but it wasn't actually put into rule until 1139 AD.
Well, no, I mean, it's now I don't feel quite as
Yeah,
seeing it, so that, he was trying to go after it. But I mean, it doesn't help that it says a young girl,
no,
possibly the jailer's daughter.
Yeah,
is what they put. So that's kind of the idea where it was, and then there was a pope. What's his name? I read his name earlier. Now I can't find it. Anyway, later on, it became a thing where they wanted to honor this individual for the acts he performed and everything, and they came up with the February 14th holiday. Now, the reason they probably took February 14th is to steal another holiday's thunder.
What holiday is that, Jake?
This holiday is known as a Lupercalia.
Oh, I love Lupercalia.
Me too.
Lupercalia. The one thing I know about Lupercalia, and you're probably going to get into this, but is that on the holiday you would beat women with goat hides.
Yeah, you would smack them.
You would smack them with goat hides to promote fertility.
Wait.
So we'll go into it, Josh. You ready?
No, but pause. Danny, you like this holiday?
Well, don't judge.
I'm going to ask your wife.
It's one of those.
The thing about it is the women wanted it.
It was one of these like fertility holidays that they had where they had like just one random thing that they always did. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. You look at like May Day, you look at Beltane, you look at May Day. Even like some of like the indigenous like cultures here. There's always something that is, we're going to do something to our women to help them be pregnant, and it spawns from, we're going to throw flowers at them. We're going to put flowers in their hair. Oh, that's sweet. To, we're going to beat them with goat hides.
Do you want to hear something really crazy?
Yes.
Do you know Egyptians came up with the first pregnancy test?
Yeah, didn't they pee on a flower?
They peed on wheat. And if it grew...
If it germinated?
If it germinated and grew, then they were pregnant. Which actually scientifically has been proven that it actually works.
Really?
Yep. I didn't know that.
Anyway, sorry.
The farmer's like, my wheat! What have you done? I just wanted to see if she was pregnant. Well, couldn't you have done it somewhere else?
So tell us about Lupercalia, Jake.
All right, this is a pagan holiday. And by pagan, it's anything that was not Christian at the time. The Romans celebrated this, and what it was held on February 15th. It was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture.
Interesting.
As well as to the Roman founders Romulus and Remus.
Remus.
Remus, I'm sorry. Is it not Remus?
I have no idea.
Romulus just makes me want to go watch Star Trek. So,
I was just going to say.
So I just kind of a quick aside, because I wanted to talk a little bit about Faunus for a second. Faunus was the Roman god of the filled forests and flocks. He is almost always depicted as half man, half goat.
we talked about this.
Yep. Is very similar to what we would also consider Pan. And Pan is kind of where we get the idea of modern day goat-footed Satan with horns and a pitchfork and everything. It actually, if you trace the etymology all the way back, it goes back to Faunus, which is very interesting.
Ooh, I just think of Phil from, that movie.
Philatides?
The one that, Disney came out with.
Hercules?
That made all the gods look like these amazing people. And then you actually read about them. You're like, this is horrible.
Do you know what's funny is it's Greek, right? So therefore it's not Hercules, it's Heracles.
Hercules.
Oh,
I
thanks,
found that.
Josh.
I found that out in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I've never played it. Is it good?
It's a really good game.
Is it?
Yes, I enjoyed it quite thoroughly.
All right. Sorry, we went off. Go ahead. Tell us a little more about Lupercalia.
Lupercalia. To begin the festival, members of Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infant Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf or lupa.
True. Which is where we get the
Lupa?
Jungle Book.
No.
Oh.
No, we were talking about werewolves a little while ago.
Oh, there you go. I was like, the lupa is in like the shower thing that you know.
No, it's actually it's one of the original ones. And some of the ancient
That's a
stories
loofah,
of Romulus and Remus, the she-wolf was not a full she-wolf, but was actually a shapeshifter.
Interesting.
That's called callback, everybody. If you haven't listened to our most recent paranormal podcast, why don't you go ahead and stop what you're doing right now and listen to it.
We tend to talk about goats and wolves a lot, don't we?
Hey, it's one of those weird universal things. It pops up a lot.
The screaming goat. Anyway, so the priest would sacrifice a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. Now, I don't understand. Does anyone know why the dog was sacrificed for purification? Because when I look at a dog, I don't go, do you know what?
That is
pure.
a pure animal.
That's a pure
But
animal.
as our uncle always said, who was a dog trainer, the mouth of a dog is much cleaner than the mouth of a human.
And that's not something I want to test out because I've seen dogs eat poop. So I don't
like it.
In the Philippines, literally, there was dogs that would just go eat poop.
Yeah,
You're like,
Danny,
"Oh,
since you're the only person with a dog at this point,
Hey.
you should test it out.
I don't think I will.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So the goat hide, they would strip into strips. I love how they put that. They stripped them into strips. And then they would dip them in sacrificial blood and take them to the streets, gently slapping both women and crop fields with the goat hide.
Can you imagine? Okay, I'd just like to point out, we were talking about the wheat field guy in Egypt. A woman pees on his wheat field, it grows, and then people come out with leather strips and just starts beating the wheat.
Those poor crops.
He's probably like, what did I do?
Here's what I want to know. Why? Why the heck was that the thing to do? Why was it all of a sudden like, you know what's going to cause pregnancy to rise? Not good health care, not feeding our women and treating them correctly, beating them with goat hide. That's going to do it. Dipped in blood.
You often look at the Greek and Roman traditions,
They're nuts.
and they have some very interesting.
They
but the
are
thing about it is,
crazy.
they literally would listen to what they considered oracles, which were mostly just people that either were
High
high
off
on
the
something or they had
kite.
some type of really heavy psychosis, and so they're like, "What should we do to increase our women's fertility? Kill a goat and slap the hide on women."
And they're like, done.
And they did.
Thank you, Oracle of Delphi. Or is it Delphi? I don't know. Can't
Now, the
remember.
interesting thing is, far from being fearful, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would each choose a name and become paired for the year with his chosen woman. These matches often ended in marriage.
So wait a minute. So the festival that would become Valentine's Day was pretty much just a giant key party.
It kind of seems that way, but it would last a year. Can you imagine pulling out a name and being like, "Oh,
That's my sister. Sorry.
So, again, going back, Valentine's Day, beat women with goat hides.
Right.
Put names in urn, pick name, year of finding out whether you're compatible.
So here we just got done talking about this Roman holiday, and obviously the Christians kind of stole it, which is very common. I mean, they stole
of their
all
holidays.
sorts of
Yeah.
holidays from pagan rituals and changed some kind of aspect. Do you think that the early Valentine's Day Christian mass celebrated similarly as this holiday? Like, were they still beating women with goats in like the Catholic parishes and everything.
Well, it says here that it like for at least 200 years it actually survived the rise of Christianity, but then suddenly became outlawed in around 5th century by Pope Gelasius. I don't know, Gelasius. Yeah, that one Pope guy.
That one fella.
Yep. So, and he's actually the one that declared it Valentine's Day on the 14th. So he's like, do you know what? We're going to stop doing that. We're going to celebrate this other Valentine guy who we don't actually know if he was real or not. And it was not until much later, however, the day became definitely associated with love. So it was just celebrating a saint. It wasn't really a celebration of love, it says here.
Interesting.
I think, no offense to the Catholic faith, but I feel like they have a feast
Here we go.
every single day, and I really enjoy it.
They do have a lot of saint feasts. I don't know how popular like celebrating all those are anymore. You know, because you have like even Saint Bridget, which is where we get our last name. She has a feast. And
Why aren't we celebrating?
Why aren't we eating?
That is a great question.
Let's eat
Why
haggis.
am I not eating right now?
Haggis.
Ew.
Let's see what her feast day. February 1st. It was just barely.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what the celebrations include. Mass, food and drink, sprinkling holy water, hanging crosses, sprinkling crops with leftover straw, and giving crosses as gifts.
So for those of you who don't know, our last name is McBride. Here's a little history lesson. Our last name is McBride, which is also translated into of Saint Bridget.
Yep.
We're children of the bride.
Children of the Bride or Saint Bridget. Now, here's a fun part. Did you guys know that historically they're not even quite sure if Saint Bridget ever existed?
Yeah, she was actually a pagan person.
Yep. A pagan goddess.
Yeah.
A three-headed pagan goddess.
So we celebrated pagan people.
That explains our personality.
We rapidly change backwards and forwards. Yeah.
It's one of those. I mean, when you read into it, it's especially early on. A lot of these saints, you kind of wonder how many of them were real, or if just kind of similar to some of the other myths. I mean, like that the Greeks had and stuff like that. It came from the myth of like that there was this tremendously amazing person and everything. Though a lot of them end in death.
Oh, martyrdom is a big thing.
It's like the martyrdom is like
a huge thing.
The thing for them to enter that.
Yeah, everybody's a martyr.
Because what is it? Saints need to do what? 2 miracles or 3 miracles?
2, I believe. The first one they become something, and then the second they become a saint.
Let's see.
See, and I'm actually curious now. What miracles did Saint Valentine do?
Well, you talked about the one of the healing of the eyes.
Yeah, for the daughter, right?
Yeah. 2 miracles attributed to them to be canonized as a saint. Martyrs only need 1 miracle. So to be considered a marticle or a martyr. To be considered a marticle.
That's a good thing.
A martyr, you need only do 1 miracle.
We need to reach out, doctor.
So I guess that's probably what it was. He had that 1 miracle and then he was killed.
And it looks like they also say that the miracle was also that he secretly was marrying couples despite that. That was a miracle in the time of oppression.
I see.
So that's interesting. So there you go.
Crazy.
It was not really until the 1300s that
The 1300s.
That they kind of started seeing a little bit more of that romance idea in the Valentine holiday. And it's actually interesting. They believe that February 14th is actually a day when birds start mating.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
Like they actually believe that or it's scientifically shown.
So during the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of the birds' mating season.
Oh, interesting.
Which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day should be a day of romance. And then there was a poem that came out in 1375 that was called Parliament of Fowls. As for this was sent on Saint Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate.
Very interesting. You know what's funny? I often think old things become new again, you know? And all throughout human history, there's always been some kind of fertility celebration, one way or another. And as Christendom was rising up and Christianity itself was kind of knocking down a lot of the pagan beliefs at the time, I think that humanity just kind of naturally found something to put in place of the fertility, holidays that used to exist. And it just happened to be Valentine's Day. And then they built up like the history around Valentine's Day to kind of justify, you're talking about, St. Valentine's was writing letters to a young woman, and that's why we do Valentine's, where I think it's probably that people just kind of miss the Bacchanalian festivals and feasts around sex, and they needed.
Did you just say sex?
I did. So
Wow.
I know.
Not to ruin everyone's day, but I'm going to. So,
I don't know.
February 14th was a Gregorian calendar issue, a Julian calendar. And if everyone remembers, the Julian calendar was not as accurate as the calendar we have today, which is the Gregorian calendar. And so technically, actually, the day of the mating birds is now February 23rd, not February 14th.
Oh. The 18th century Galician Sacramentary recorded it and considered it courtly love. That is where we get the term lovebirds. Do you guys know that? And why it's associated with Valentine's Day. Because of the two interconnecting together occasionally, I guess, until, the Gregorian calendar came apart.
I'd just like to point out the earliest surviving Valentine letter was written in the 15th century. Are you ready? Jésus d'Agé de mort de ne maîtresse d'Orge Valentini.
Okay.
Every French person probably just
I was going to say,
cussed me out.
anybody who was even like taking first year French is like,
Jake, you took French.
I did.
Did that sound anything like a French person?
I only remember how to say "sign up for the papier, s'il vous plaît," which is just sign this paper, please. So that's about what I got from my French class. 2 years of it.
So isn't that interesting that, today Valentine's has become, flowers, Valentine grams, hearts with "Be Mine," like the cheapest of candies.
Oh, the chocolate candies.
Say we're gonna get more into that in a second. Don't jump ahead.
Jeez,
Stop it.
I'm so sorry.
We gotta
calm
stick
down.
We gotta stick back in the
Whoa.
Roman and Greek periods.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Because there's a symbol of Valentine's that I think we tend to use quite a bit.
Oh, dear.
What is the
it-
symbol?
The heart.
It's a heart, but there's also a individual that's kind of associated with it.
A
Oh,
Cupid.
the Cupid.
The Cupid,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
So-
Yeah, where did those come from? When did we make a naked baby like angelic?
So the Cupid was portrayed on Valentine's card as a naked cherub launching arrows of love at unsuspecting lovers.
Oh.
But the Roman god Cupid has his roots in Greek mythology as the Greek god of love, Eros.
Specifically, not just love, erotic love.
Oh,
Yeah, this
gross.
isn't your run of the mill hold hands on a porch swinging on like old chairs. No, this is the down and dirty love.
Here, children, cover your ears. That's the
The down and dirty love.
The down and dirty love, because his mother was Venus, who she is the god of love, all love, courtly love.
I say his accounts of birth vary. Some say he's the son of Nyx and Erebus. Some say he's the god of Aphrodite and Ares, which I think is funny.
which is
because Ares was a ugly guy.
No, that was Hephaestus.
Oh,
come on, get your
sorry.
call.
Ares was the war god.
That's right. That's right.
Others suggest he's the son of Iris and Zephyrus, or even Aphrodite and Zeus.
Really?
That makes him both his father and grandfather.
I was going to say but Aphrodite, didn't she spring forth out of
Zeus's
The
brain.
sea-
Zeus's head or something?
Oh,
'Cause he had a massive
that was
migraine.
Venus.
Oh, is that what it was?
No, Venus was out of the sea with Poseidon.
Yeah, but I think Venus.
But,
and
there's
Venus and
so
Aphrodite.
many. I think they intertwine a lot. It's all the Greek historians. They're
Here's
like,
what I
what the heck
think.
are you doing?
Yeah, Venus is the Aphrodite counterpart to Rome. So Venus is Roman, and Aphrodite is Greek. So Cupid.
So yes.
When
So
I tried to look up Cupid, it gave me a K-pop song from 50/50.
50-50?
That's the name of the K-pop. 50.
This is brought to you by 50/50 or a K-pop group. I don't know what that song is, and we do not sponsor anything.
I was gonna play it, but I just realized it's probably not a good idea, huh?
Copyright.
I mean, mostly they just do a bunch of dancing, and anytime I see a K-pop, I'm like, that's interesting. They're very popular. Like,
So
I was kind of surprised, like, not just here, or not over in Asia, but like here too.
K-pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. So I've got a question. Why do we make it a little naked baby? Because that's not really how Cupid was.
So it's kind of interesting because, I mean, Eros was a handsome immortal played with emotions of gods and men. He used a golden arrow to incite love and lead ones to sow aversion. So, like, he just wanted to cause chaos, kind of.
What a trickster.
And it wasn't until the Hellenistic period that he began to be portrayed as a mischievous, chubby child.
Well, good for him.
So, I mean, he's progressed into a baby?
Yeah, because he's almost like portrayed, like, if I'm reading this right, he's almost portrayed almost villainesque.
Yeah.
Like he's a bad thing. Like the golden arrow that he shoots you with isn't something to be proud of.
He wants to cause
it's
mayhem.
like lust.
Yes.
It's overwhelming lust.
Or he wants two people to fall in love that probably already have a relationship with other people and things like that. Ooh. What's the goddess of with the golden apple? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? The
You're
one that
talking
has,
like Troy.
She had it. I mean, I think Athena gave the apple, or someone, Aphrodite gave the apple. But there's a goddess with a golden apple that causes all sorts of mischief and mayhem, and I can't think of her name right now.
It's Eris.
Eris.
Yeah.
So I just think it's funny. Eros and Eris.
Yes. Yeah, Eris is actually the sister of Ares, the god of war.
Here's an interesting fact.
And she's the goddess of discord and strife. She's actually a counterpoint in a couple ways to Eros, who's Cupid.
Oh, see?
And here's an interesting fact. In Latin, Cupid is not a word, it's amor, which, as we know from Latin languages, means
Amora, love.
love.
Interesting.
How can I say I love you? Oop, that was a Chowder reference. Whoops.
Chowder.
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 Anyway, I'm sorry.
So we got ourselves naked Cupid babies that are showing up in art all over the place in Renaissance.
Yes. And then comes the time when official day greetings and gifts begin.
Which was when?
In the 17th century, it began in Great Britain, it looks like.
Oh, the English, of course, they did it.
James.
So by the middle of the 18th, am I guessing century? They don't really. By the middle of the 18th, it was common for friends and lovers of all social classes to exchange small tokens of affection or handwritten notes. And by the 1900s, printed cards began to replace written letters due to improvements in printing technology.
Interesting.
Ready-made cards were an easy way for people to express their emotions in a time when direct expression of one's feelings was discouraged. Oh, Victoria. Oh, sorry.
Did you guys know that the roses are red, violets are blue is actually a real poem?
Is it? Does it actually talk about love, or is it one of those?
No,
that's like,
it absolutely is. It's from Edmund Spenser's epic "The Fairy Queen," and this is how it. And it's actually about Valentine's. She bathed with roses red and violets blue, and all the sweetest flowers that in the forest grew.
Do you want to hear my version?
The rose is red, the violets blue, the honey sweet, and so are you. Thou art my love, and I am thine. I drew thee to me, Valentine. A lot was cast, and then I drew, and fortune said it should be you.
man, poets back in the day just knew how to write
They
so well.
just did that. That's from
I'll give it a
Joseph
shot.
Johnson.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm constipated and hope to poo.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine. That's the note that Josh slides under the door when he's been in the bathroom for a while. Love you.
Kylie's Valentine's Day seems awesome.
Americans probably began exchanging handmade Valentines in the middle of the 1700s, but in the 1840s, Esther A. Howland began selling the first mass-produced Valentines in America. Howland was known as the mother of Valentine. Wait, didn't we talk about her?
Yeah, she sounds familiar. What did we talk about?
I think we talked about her with King Tut. She did something.
Esther Howland?
She did do something. What did we talk about?
It's been a little while. It's kind of embarrassing. Esther Howland. I felt like she wrote something.
Let's see. Esther Howland's connection with King Tut.
No,
Yeah,
she died before we found King Tut.
It wasn't that then. It was something else. And I can't.
No, she's connected to Egypt somehow, and I think it has something to do with the printing on her Valentine's Day cards. Like she used, remember how we were talking about like the mummy paint?
Was that it?
I think that's it.
For some reason, I thought it was something else.
Well, whatever.
Well, now I'm going to be bugged by this, and I'm going to be thinking about it. And then
This is
tonight-
called getting off topic. We're twaddling. We're officially twaddling
We have
along.
for good reason. Oh well. Well, there's something somewhere. So if anyone by chance comes across it in the previous episodes of Twaddling Along, please email us at Danny.
Emails at twaddlingalong.com.
There we go.
Hey, why do we eat chocolate? What does that have to do with Valentine's Day?
I don't think this is talked about in the article, but let me see. I had another article about 7 unique traditions, and I don't know if it's part of it. Let's see.
It's because of the British, dang it.
Probably. It's probably like Cadbury or something.
Yep. In 1868, the British chocolate company Cadbury created fancy boxes, a decorated box of chocolates in the sharp shape of a heart for Valentine's Day, and thus started the tradition.
Hey, do we want to talk about the heart shape?
You guys leaked, what was it? That was last week's or 2 weeks ago? They were like, we should talk about the heart. And then I asked you off air, and now I don't want to talk about it.
You did some research and you found out? Is that what it was?
No, you told me.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
All I can say is it's a very beautiful shape that makes men happy.
And it's really old. Like they've been using the what we consider to be like the conventional heart symbol, which is the two things have been around like for centuries, almost millennia. I think some of the earliest usage actually were found in coins or pendants and are from India.
Ooh.
So let me sum it up for you. It's a butt.
Wow, Josh just took away
Thanks, Josh, for
You're welcome.
the beauty of the
secrecy.
symbol, the secrecy.
It's a butt.
This is how we
And that's
defame
what
the
makes
sacred
it
over
so
here.
much worse if you really think about it. Chocolate's in a heart shape, it's just poop in a butt.
Oh, Josh, come on.
Just ruined it for
Ruining Valentine's Day for everybody.
Danny's got to have do more
I'm gonna
editing
have
work
to-
now.
No, I'm keeping this in. People need to understand the pain that is sitting with Josh and talking about things.
This is why I don't like chocolate, ladies and gentlemen.
This is also why we don't do live shows.
Seriously, people would be like, so this is what you actually talked about? Yes.
Yes.
We like to
yes,
introduce the Twaddling Along people. Oh, now they're gone. All right. So that's kind of the general history of that. I wanted to move over to another few different things where it talks about different traditions that are unique. Did you know that do you know that each flower kind of has a different meaning on Valentine's Day?
I know that
I do.
roses have different meaning depending on their color, but I don't know about like other flowers in general. Tell us.
So there are different flowers that kind of have different meanings. Now, I don't see rose in this particular one, but I'm sure with the number of flowers out there, I'm sure there's different things. Like a bouquet of yellow acacia? Or do you guys know what that is?
I have no idea.
Grandpa Minson, send us the answer.
Oh, great. Now we're summoning the dead.
What's the little board you pull out to get the...
We're gonna pull a Ouija out.
Yeah, but
Grandpa, what's the scientific Stella flows?
think about it. I need to know how it's pronounced. And so I don't know if he can do that.
From the grave.
Cockeye twitch. I taught you everything.
And then you hear this.
Get up. Our family's going to get that. No one else will. I'm sorry.
That's super deep in there, people.
Anyway, so you have flowers like the yellow ones mean concealed love.
Concealed love.
Snowdrops mean hope. Jonquils, I hope that's how they're pronounced. That's how it's spelled. Is I desire a return of affection. So it sends a message that you secretly adore the recipient and hope those feelings might be reciprocated.
I have jonquils. They're a form of daffodil. They're very pretty.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the jonquil daffodil, if you watch what's good heavens? Hold on. Alice in Wonderland. Those are the ones that are mocking her. The ones that are like laughing at her, those are
They just desired affection. They just didn't know how to present it.
they're jonquil daffodils. Jonquilia daffodilus. Also known as Narcissus jonquilia.
Which means
Self-love.
So it's not just about the bouquet of flowers. It has a whole message encoded into the flowers. So here's been all these people giving flowers, and the person's like, "Oh, thank you," and they're like, "But look, I had so much behind this."
Do you think that they say that right now? Do you think like 100 years ago, like people could actually like codify what people were like meaning from the flowers they were giving? Because things are lost in time. Like, why do we put a bow on top of a present, and why do we do this and that? It's got to have some meaning behind it. And so, like, did our great grandma, if she got flowers from our great grandpa, did she go, okay, so what you're telling me from these flowers is this, that, and the other?
Well, we can actually blame Elizabeth White Nelson, who was an associate professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. She came out with a dictionary. I'm sorry.
The book Market Sentiments.
Yeah, so she was the author of that.
Yep.
But in there, she actually says there was a 19th century flower dictionary that categorized each flower.
Yeah, do you want to hear like the number of flowers means? So a single rose meant love at first sight. 2 roses, give 2 roses, show that you are deeply in love with them. 3 roses mean I love you. 4 means nothing will stand between us. 5 means you express care and love. 6 roses is I want to be yours. 7, I'm infatuated with you. 8, a symbol of support for friends or family going through a difficult time. 9, eternal love. 10, they are perfection. And I'm going to skip because there's quite a few, but 88 roses means to apologize from the bottom of a heart for a mistake you made.
I always wonder why those were offered. Because I've looked on websites and they do offer 88 roses.
The 88 roses.
I mean, it's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you're really sorry.
When you're reading through that, what I'm thinking is 1 rose is $15, 2 roses, $30.
88 roses.
100 roses means I'm totally devoted to you, but 99 roses means I will love you to the day I die, not for eternity.
Interesting.
Not for eternity?
Not for eternity. What does a dozen roses mean?
A dozen roses mean a simple way to ask your crush to be yours.
Oh.
I just spent $150 on this. I just want to let you know I am interested.
Wait a second. 18 roses means to tell a loved one to stay young and beautiful.
Hey, you're getting a little old. Here's 18 roses.
You're getting a little bit of those crow's feet at the end of your eyes. You should see someone about that.
You might need a little bit of concealer. Here's 18 roses.
You stink.
Here's 22 roses. What does that mean? What does 22 roses mean?
22 roses means absolutely jack nothing.
Oh.
So anything in between is just meaningless.
Here's 22 roses. What does it mean? I don't know. My back kind of hurts. Here's 22 roses.
Means I spent more money on it. That's what I meant. Anyway, moving on from flowers, because I'm sure that we could probably do a whole series of podcasts just on flowers. Another thing that people used to do in the 18th and 19th centuries was gifting a puzzle purse.
What's a puzzle purse?
A puzzle purse consists of an intricately folded sheet of paper with parts of a message or verses written on different corners.
Oh, isn't that, you guys remember making the
little flower,
thing that you flip the paper flower?
Oh yeah, it usually was, you're an idiot.
I was gonna say, ours was, who are you gonna marry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it was like every single answer was nobody. You pull it up, nobody, and you're like, oh,
dang it!
I'm all sad.
And see, that came from that one pagan holiday. Lupercalia.
Lupercalia.
It's just the paper pulling out of the urn. And most of the time you're like, oh, no, not her, please.
Now I have a question, and this might be just the United States thing, but and I wish we still did this. I don't think it happens quite a lot anymore, but decorating boxes.
Oh, no, they still do it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, the problem is now there is explicit instruction in Valentine's Day that on what you can give, how many you're supposed to give out. You know, it's not like the old Simpsons day where I choose you, where you could just skip people if you didn't want to give them a Valentine's Day.
You have to bring them for the whole class.
It has to be
Ralph
for everybody.
Sad. And Lisa has to save him.
What an excellent, by the way, one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Oh, those first few seasons were just amazing.
With him being George Washington at the end.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Another fun tradition has to do with pigs and gingerbread men.
Oh, no, not the pigs again.
Yep.
Are we waiting
pigs are
for
back.
the squealing?
Valentine's Day, called Valenstag, only took hold in Germany after the end of World War II. Since then, Germans have put their own spin on the day. One is to incorporate pigs, which are a symbol of luck in Germany, into Valentine's Day gifts.
Aw.
I would not think pigs
Are a symbol of luck.
symbol of luck.
Hey, no, but we did talk about that the women would go out naked in the pigs.
No,
She wasn't
We
naked.
never said anything about them being naked. It was just a,
You just made them more uncomfortable.
It's just a young woman going out and waiting to hear which pig sounded first to know what kind of man she was going to marry.
It was the old pig? Old man.
Yeah.
Young pig? Yay.
Interesting.
You were Josh has got a whole story in his head about
I mixed-
naked Appalachians
No, I-
wandering around looking at pigs.
We're talking about Germans.
I mixed it up with the naked guy under the house with the sword.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. That's a little different. Germans also give out heart-shaped gingerbread cookies known as Labkuchen. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced. For Valentine's Day. These usually include a personal message.
Oh.
Like, do they write the message on gingerbread, or you like bite into it and there's paper?
And knowing that they're German, it's very straightforward.
No,
I saw you across the street and you were very efficient.
Why were they Russian?
That's a good question. Because I can't do a German accent.
the Russian, we
give them a
piece of paper, say, you cute.
You cute, one vodka?
Oh, places we could go. All right. In the Philippines, they usually will do mass marriages. The reason for it is marriage is very expensive over in the Philippines.
Now, why is it so expensive? You said that.
I don't know. I think it's for whatever reason. I can't remember if it's like getting the marriage certificate is expensive, but I'm not sure because I've met a lot of people like they had been together for 20, 30 years, but they weren't married mostly just because it was so expensive at that point.
Interesting.
So it was one of those. I'm sure there's tons of reasons behind it, but because of that, they would have these days where they would just do a mass marriage in order to help people get married that couldn't afford it.
Interesting.
So like they would do it's like 1,500 couples would like tie the knot on like a ceremony in Manila.
Interesting.
So, and they said that even couples turned out during COVID. So they even had big things happen during that point.
Interesting.
Now this is kind of the last one that I have on my docket, and then we can talk about whatever we want after that. But this one made me laugh. Flowers, chocolate, sentimental cards, and even pig-themed gifts. These things may be all wonderful, but sometimes a relationship doesn't work out, which can make Valentine's Day difficult. However, if the ex responsible for your broken heart is still on your mind, there is a Valentine's Day solution. Cockroaches.
Is this still in Germany?
Nope. This
is just in general.
This is actually like there's Bronx and Chicago and other places like this. Several zoos now allow people to pay a small fee to give a roach the name of their choosing. The Bronx Zoo has a name a roach for your Valentine. There's a name a cockroach for your ex at the Brookfield Chicago Zoo. And San Antonio Zoo organizes a Cry Me a Cockroach fundraiser. All offer some type of certificate to commemorate the naming and to send along the roach roaches honoree. So if you really hate your ex or they're on your mind, you name a cockroach.
And then you step on it.
And they come back to life and you go, oh, they live on.
Do you know what we should talk about is the modern day Valentines? Because I believe that it is changing.
Is it?
Because you have, at least from what I've heard, you have two more type of Valentines, which is called Galentine's Day.
Yes, the day before.
Then you also have Palentine's Day.
What is Palentine's Day?
Where you celebrate your friends, not your lover.
Oh.
Your pals.
Oh, there was something on that, but I'm not going to read it. See, now, my thing is, like, I try really hard to be romantic.
Oh, I'm not romantic
And
at all.
it doesn't usually turn out super well. Like, I try to get flowers. I try to get chocolate. My wife loves chocolate. Send chocolate to me, please.
Dude, Twaddling Along.
See, I'm romantic. I just walk out naked and then it gets awkward.
There's us naked again. Josh,
You know what?
we need to have you go talk to someone.
Seriously.
We need to have a whole podcast about intervention. Josh,
I thought you were going to say
we're
nudity.
We're all
I was
going
like, oh, no.
we're all going to write letters. Josh, you've been talking about nudity a little bit too much.
The human condition.
Yes.
Hey.
So,
This week on Twaddling Along.
but no, I do stuff. One of my favorite things, unfortunately, it's super expensive, but my favorite things to send and get is the fruit that's dipped in chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call
Yeah.
it? The
Something bouquet.
shoot.
Fruit bouquet.
And there's something in Utah that they do it. I cannot think of the name of it. Let's see, chocolate fruit arrangements.
You know, it's
arrangements.
while you're looking,
edible arrangements.
Edible arrangements. That's the one.
while we're talking about that, have you also noticed that, like, do you remember getting Valentines from mom and dad when we were little?
No.
Like, I don't remember, like, mom and dad, and they might have, and maybe I'm just forgetting, like, something small. But I have heard, and this is the TikTok age, of parents doing, like, huge elaborate gifts for Valentine's Day for their kids.
Really?
Yeah.
See, no, I remember you take a Valentine's card and candy to your friend's house, ring the doorbell, and run away.
Oh,
Do you guys remember doing that?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Because I don't see that.
The secret Valentine's
Yeah, I don't
Day.
see that
Yeah, that's
anymore.
not something that happens a lot.
So maybe it's because most of the people come out with a gun. What the heck? Oh,
Well, it just seems like Valentine's Day, and you can actually almost see, like, the progression of commercialism in it. Of starting with little cards, letters, everything, and it just kind of has slowly morphed into a really big industry. I mean, anybody who goes into any kind of store during the Valentine's Day, from literally the day after Christmas all the way to Valentine's Day, knows that, like, there is a million different candies and cards and
I say it. I guess I've kind of gotten caught on that because there were times when, like, they had the cool little stuffed animals. Like one of the years, we got my son like a big stuffed dog. We still have it, and things like that. I've done that.
I haven't
just
done anything
laugh.
for my children.
I say Josh,
you're on one today, man. Josh is
we need to have Josh go to therapy.
Josh,
Please refer
No, it's
to.
because I don't have any children.
I see.
Yes.
Jeez, gents.
No, I mean, I also just, even the gifts have changed. Like when we were young, I remember Dad getting mom flowers and
All the
chocolates,
time.
right? That's what you would give him.
Yeah.
And then you would hear of, like, the occasional crazy person that would go out and buy, like, jewelry.
Yeah.
But, like, now it's become like it's like an all day event. Like, it's a huge, almost, I don't know. It's just a huge kind of ordeal, and it's almost solely focused on, and this is going to probably get me into trouble, but it's really focused on men giving women something.
And that's where I want to jump in and apologize to our wives that we're so old and traditional, where it's like, here's some flowers
And chocolate.
and chocolate.
Don't forget the chocolate.
No, but that brings up a good point, Dan, because in Japan, it's the opposite.
It's women to men.
Women to men, and then a month later, there's a day called the Response Day or the White Day, where men return the favor, basically.
Interesting.
Just kind of like prom and morp, for those of you Utahns.
Morp.
Prom is when the guy asks the girl, and then the girl returns the favor with a really cheap date.
Prom is the time when the mom demands the son ask the girl because he hasn't done anything the whole time he's been in high school.
Wait,
Definitely don't have feelings about that. It was fun.
Really, this is what's coming out is that both of you need therapy.
I've been to therapy. It's great. I'm all for therapy.
I've been to therapy like once.
Why not give a therapy session for Valentine's Day this year?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Brought to you
Couples
by-
therapy.
Happy Valentine's Day. You have issues here.
Honey, happy Valentine's Day. We're going to couples therapy.
Oh, cute.
We're going to get better together.
Yep, that's probably what's going to.
In case you want to hit me, here's chocolate.
So, what do you guys do for Valentine's Day?
So usually I'll get some flowers,
Okay.
and chocolate. And then usually what we'll do is because all the restaurants are so packed everywhere, I usually get stuff ordered in. I'll
Do ya?
get something ordered in that we can eat together. With kids, it's a little bit more difficult than it used to be.
It is harder.
So in a lot of different areas, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like making food.
Yeah.
It's one of those that it's... Yes, Josh making food.
Yeah. If that's what you want to call it.
Oh, jeez.
A pig in a blanket?
Who's the pig? Oh.
We're back in the Appalachians again. It's all come full circle, people.
My wife went into one of the pens and there's like a pig that goes, and she's like, oh no.
Not him.
No, that one.
Not him.
And then she saw me and she's like, he also kind of looks like a sumo wrestler. And that's how it all came to be.
Oh.
Speaking of which, I
love
brought
sumo.
that up and after she listened to the podcast this last time, she's like, that's not what I meant. I just meant they're handsome over there to other people. And I said, nope. It justifies why you married me.
But here's the thing is, we do look like sumo wrestlers. If we put a diaper on, we could totally pull it off.
We're very tiny sumo wrestlers.
I was going to say.
I mean,
That
they're,
is true.
They're
we're
enormous.
not that big.
They just, not that I'm still in my sumo phase, but they just crowned a top champion, and they took a picture, and he's with a bunch of other Japanese folk, and he is massive compared
huge.
to everyone else.
You mean when he sat in classroom, he was sitting next to everybody?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
congrats, Ho Shoryu. You good?
That's his name.
Yeah.
Horseshoe.
Ho Shoryu.
The R just sounds so forced.
You.
That's like anytime I try saying or speaking any type of Spanish dialect that has the stupid rolling R. I cannot roll my R's with anything, which I mean was horrible in the Philippines because like they're amazing at it, and I would try it, and it would sound so. American.
in Bacolod, where you were at, did they have like their language is what, Cebu? What is it?
Hiligaynon.
Hiligaynon. Did they have rolling R's?
Yes, very much so.
But
Yeah,
you couldn't do it.
I could not. I tried really hard. See, I go, and it just
Jake, let's do a session. So Jake, put your tongue at the top of your mouth and blow.
I think I just threw it from my mouth a little bit. So, and yeah, that was the problem. So, I mean, I did okay. Like people, I would just find words that didn't have R's in it. But the problem was that because they had Spanish influence from conquest and stuff with Spanish, they had words that were Spanish words.
Sure.
And so like there was difference. Like whenever I count to 10, like people that speak Spanish are always like, that's wrong. But I'm like, no, that's how they say it in the Philippines. Like they have different pronunciations, but that's stinking rolling R. I tried.
And speaking of rolling R, it's kind of sexy, if you know what I mean. Like on Valentine's Day when you say mi amor.
So that's Josh's Valentine's Day. He just rolls his R's at his wife.
And as his wife's like, what are you doing?
Wait, what's the cat from Five Goes West?
from Five O's Goes West.
Or the
Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise.
He was.
A national treasure.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
When he passed, we lost something dear.
They should do a
anytime
Saint,
I watch
wait,
anything
what's his
with
name
him.
again?
Dom DeLuise.
We should do a Saint Dom DeLuise Day.
Exactly.
Well, the thing about it is he loved food and cooking. So
And that's
we could have
kind
a
of
feast.
why he
That's kind of why he went the way he did.
went the way he did.
Oh,
But that's okay. He was awesome.
he probably had a good Valentine's Day.
I heard him roll his R's, but he had a great Valentine's Day.
See, again, and then you come over to Jake and
Sounds like Jake snoring.
I'm going to cough now. Okay, I'm back.
So, Danny, what do you do for Valentine's Day?
Me and my wife decided a long time ago now.
That it's a pagan holiday and you should never celebrate it?
Yes, we've gone completely.
Dan celebrates
gotcha.
it the next day.
No, we decided not to do like the traditional gifts because, like, I mean, chocolates are great and everything, and we'll still occasionally do chocolates or some kind of sweet. But like when it comes to flowers, they die, you know.
Aw.
And so in the past, my wife has asked, well, if you're going to give me a plant, give me an actual plant, like an indoor plant or something.
Danny gives
Which
her
is
a
very
cucumber
romantic.
plant.
It's seriously, it's like here, honey, here's a ficus.
Here's a zucchini.
A bonsai.
Here's a bonsai. No, so we've now gone to a point where we, like a couple weeks before, we say, okay, here's our budget. Surprise me. Give me just something that you think that I'm going to like. And you know, it's kind of fun. We like it.
If we did that, my wife would give me a penny whistle.
Ooh, I have a penny whistle. I love it.
Oh yeah, Grandma gave my daughter a penny whistle, and let me tell you, it's amazing.
Oh, you're talking about the slide whistle. The
slide whistle and a
Yeah.
penny whistle.
Oh,
I do have. Ben got a slide whistle,
Oh, I love penny whistles.
so
I love everyone.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Josh would have been okay with the urn. Any name, I love you.
No, it would have to be my wife, Kylie, or I'd be like, nope.
Oh, I
Reach
thought
in,
you were
grab
about to be
another
like,
one.
or someone else, and I was like, ooh,
No, I just keep reaching in
stop,
until I
Josh,
got
stop
it.
it.
Josh isn't going to have a good Valentine's Day.
That's called
Who was the or, Joshua? Who was the or?
Dog house. Dun, 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 dun.
No,
Wait,
this
no,
is
that's
gonna-
my house.
I was going to say, I don't even know. what was
Our
going on.
house in the middle of the street. I didn't even realize that was a real song. I thought it was just a coffee commercial for years.
Oh, man. That's
It's like if
hilarious.
you just my kids are missing out because there's times where I reference commercials and they'll never know. Like I said, I said cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and my kids went, "What?" And I went, "Oh,
Oh, see, now I purposely, like, I'll put on like 90s commercials on YouTube just to show my kids commercials that we used to have. And they're like,
what's wrong with you?"
well, what's funny is that a lot of times what they'll do is they'll watch them and be like, these are weird. Like, do you guys remember was it the Honeycombs Monster commercial?
The Honeycombs Monster commercial?
Yes. Honeycombs had, for a little while there, they had this absolutely psychotic, almost Tasmanian devil-like character that they had in their commercials. And you watch it and you're like, this is absolutely nuts.
I'm sorry. We had the cannibalistic cereal. What is that one called?
Oh, cinnamon crunch.
Yeah,
where they would
cinnamon
eat each
crunch.
other?
Yes. See, that's
So
what I
good.
had. That's why today all my generation's messed up. It's like, ooh,
Oh yeah, I remember the Honeycomb Monster.
Yeah.
I'm now looking it up. Oh yeah.
You watch those commercials or even really any of the late 90s commercials, and it's just like, it is just color and energy. No wonder everybody has ADHD, because I'm convinced that they were given it by the commercials that were watched in the late 90s.
They were good commercials.
nowadays the commercials are, have you fallen? Get up with Life Alert.
No, are you kidding me?
That's
one of those-
That's your algorithm telling you something, Josh. Not everybody gets
Now that
those.
it's close, now that's closer to Valentine's Day. They're like, do you need Viagra? You're like, no.
The other one that I get a lot is, this is not how you lose weight. And it's a guy eating a pizza as I'm eating a pizza watching the show. And it's like, oh, come on.
You're like, oh, come on, man.
Oh,
Well, with that, let's do some final words and get out of here. We're going to start with Josh. Final word from Josh.
Final word from Josh. I just shout out to my bae, Kylie. I love you so much. Happy Valentine's week. I know this isn't Valentine's Day, but you're awesome. I love you. And to all those who are listening, suck it. You didn't get as good a wife as I did.
You know, can I just say, so it was going to be my turn next, but I hate you. I hate you
you're
so
gonna do
much.
the same
I
thing?
was literally going to do the exact same thing. And now it doesn't seem like it's going to be sincere from me because you're...
That's right, Pauline. Ha.
Love you, Pauline. Happy Valentine's Day. Jake, yours.
Jake.
I've decided that if you want to experience love, you just need to go hang out with pigs.
Oh my gosh.
Happy Valentine's Day, Julie.
Hey, she knows. There's chocolate involved.
Wait. I think we need to end this a certain way after
Let's-
Jake gives
let's
his
end it.
final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts, Jake.
Do you know what I know that I've kind of seen? If you want to experience love, go talk to pigs.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was your final thought.
I love my wife, and that's why she hangs out with a pig.
Oh,
And we eat a lot of food, and it's wonderful. And I give her chocolate.
well,
Sometimes truffle chocolate. Oh, no. I have a problem.
you do have a
I
problem.
can't roll my R's. I sound like I honk. It's a sign.
Oh, speaking of honking, just one more. I saw a thing today of the army of Canadians moving towards the border, and it was a bunch of geese just following each other.
Hey, if they're Canadian geese, that is a formidable enemy.
Yes, it
They
is.
are grumpy as sin. I would run.
They're all being herded by a mountain.
There you go. On a moose.
With that, thank you so much for joining us on Twaddling Along. Follow us on Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts. Leave us some good messages. Let us know if you're listening out there. Always feel free to reach us on emails at twaddlingalong.com. Share with us things that you like, things that you didn't like, maybe future topics that you want us to do. We will be back next week with the paranormal. Which Josh is in charge of this time. So, any spoilers, Josh? What are we going to talk about?
It's going to be paranormal.
Josh forgot that he has next week.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
And remember, everyone, our dad loves our mother.
Aww.